This is the Bosch Ggs 18V-Li. This is an 18 volt cordless straight grinder. Most people would know one of these as being a die grinder, but Bosch actually call it a straight grinder. I believe it's exactly the same as the angle grinder, but the angle grinder has a 90-degree head on it, which enables you to put a disc on, whereas this one is straight drive like so. That enables you to put bits in like that. The one that's in at the minute is actually a carbide burr. They are actually very expensive. So machines like this are very useful. You can get these into a lot of places where you can't actually use a normal grinder. And because this one is cordless, it does mean that you can take it virtually anywhere. There aren't many controls on this, to be honest. All you have is a simple on-off button. And this is very common now on Bosch machines. You can actually slide it and the machine will start, or you can slide it and you can press it in and then the switch will stay on. I actually bought this machine without the battery and the charger because I actually bought those with a drill because it was on special offer, it was very cheap. So I've now got the batteries. So the intention is to actually take this machine on site because they actually use this type of batteries on the sites where I work. So this is very useful, and as I've said, you can get in a lot of places that you can't get into using an angle grinder. Just to compare this with a pneumatic one, obviously it's quite a lot larger than a pneumatic one, and the pneumatic one also has a forwards and reverse function, whereas this only goes in one direction. So it is quite a lot larger, but obviously you would expect that with an electric version. I do also have a 110 version, and the 18 volt version is much closer in size to that. But you have the advantage with this one that you don't have a cord and you don't have a pneumatic air line to plug in anywhere. So this is a very, very handy piece of kit. I actually bought this on eBay and it came with the L box, and you also get 2 spanners like that with it. And I have to say that I'm really impressed with the spanners. I think I paid about £80 for this, so it was really, really cheap. And the design on the end for the collet is absolutely superb. What they've done is they've actually made both pieces of the collet the same size, so you can use the 19mm spanner on either part of the collet. Not only that, but the actual spanners that they've supplied with this are absolutely superb. They do look like forged spanners. Normally when you buy something like this, you get a couple of pressed steel spanners which are absolute garbage, but they've actually excelled themselves here by providing decent spanners like that. When you want to change the bit over in the end, simply remove the battery. Once you've done that, you can then lie the machine down. Take the 2 spanners, put one on the grinder nut and one on the spindle nut. Just undo that. You can then undo that and you can pull the bit straight out. It does say in the instructions that it will accept bits up to 8mm in diameter. These are actually 6mm or 1/4 of an inch. So you can then put your new bit in, ensuring that it is rated at the speed that the grinder can go at. This can actually rotate at 22,000 RPM. So I'm going to put the new bit in, just tighten that up by hand. Grab the nut, grab the collet nut and then just tighten that up. That will then firmly grip the bit in the end there. And I'll just give you one demonstration of where you can use this. You can use these for enlarging holes in metal, and it is one of the easiest ways of doing so. As you can see, the hole in this gate is a little bit on the small side, so I'm just enlarging it using the straight grinder. If you're using a abrasive bit like that, you can actually use these on hardened steel as well, which does make them incredibly useful. The case is also really well designed. You've got plenty of room to put your bits in. We've got 2 compartments there at the front. Plenty of room there for the spanners. You can even chuck the instructions in there. You can also get the grinder in the case with the battery and the bit installed. So I think you'll agree that for the money, that is a fantastic piece of kit.